It's time! Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle, we unite and up. Trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. So the beastin' on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins.
Welcome to another episode of Bengals and Brews. I am Dale Altman, joined by my co-host today, Pork Chisel and Greg Sizzle. What's up, boys?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
I don't know. You're smiling awful big.
I know. It's because I don't know what's going on. I just woke up.
Let's just all smile real big and weird.
Yeah, for the camera. Smile for the camera.
Lose their vision. But Greg says,
Yeah. Oh, he's not.
This is very confusing times. Anyone that would typically watch on Facebook, which you probably not hearing this because, well, it's not letting me connect to Facebook. I will hit it one more time and try. No, it's still saying the same thing. And it was saying that before I got on here. An error occurred on Facebook, usually temporary. Wait a moment, try again. There's nothing I can do. It's broadcasting on Twitter and YouTube. This is why we say YouTube seems to always especially be the most consistent. And if you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications, you go to the YouTube app, you can chat with us from there. We can't get your chats from Twitter. Facebook is very unreliable on disconnecting. It's only happened a couple times, but still. Why miss any times? When you can just go to YouTube, subscribe, and chat with us from there every day. So if you're a Facebook user and maybe you hear this in podcast form because you're like, damn, I was there for the episode, ready to go on Facebook, go to YouTube.
I started off on Facebook. I started on Facebook and I switched over to YouTube.
I had to convince you.
I know.
That YouTube was the way.
It is.
And would you go back now?
No, I wouldn't go back to Facebook. I stick on YouTube.
That's right. Once you went YouTube, you didn't go back.
I know. Once you do, you won't go back. You go YouTube, You don't go back. It's a fact.
Because it's the way to go. So
this is the way.
Who to everybody in the chat here? We got Jerry. Jerry been at the beach, enjoying living his best life.
No shit, man.
Chuck Sizzle shirts and got our koozies always representing. He's another person who put in for the hat, so we could go ahead and mention the hat.
Awesome.
We've got about 8 or 9 people, I think, entering in that now. Probably nine, maybe 10 entered into that now. Who Day to Stranger, Who Day to Crip. So as Pork Chop's pulling that out, we'll talk about that here in a second. Who Day to Chris in Jersey. Who Day to Travis. Don't always see Travis' name on here, so good to have another viewer in. Who Day to our boy Jerome. Jeremy Quinn, what's up, my guy? So good to see all you. Matt Walker, who's a very loyal listener and has ordered a lot of our merch. Appreciate you as always. Appreciate all you guys. But yes, here's the Cincy hat. So you can make a $10 donation on thecincyhat.com, or you can go and buy a hat or a polo or whatever you want to buy from there. All donations either way go to the same place for the Village of Marici. This hat is autographed by Ted Karras. Pork Chop got it signed directly. So you know he signed it with love because he was signing it with Pork Chop.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going to one of you lucky people who are entered into this drawing. So, like I said, a minimum $10 donation. That's their site rules. So that's what they have set. So you can $10 donation. There's no tax on that if you do a donation. Now, if you buy a $35 hat, there will be tax depending on your state you're from, and there will be the shipping charge, So just to let you know that. And then but they did come out with the mid crown as well. So if you've had one of these hats before, and me, it don't bother me because I got a big old dome, but these hats are kind of taller than a lot of hats that they've had. But this mid crown, it's going to fit better. It's going to fit better for somebody with a smaller head. So.
I wondered what that meant. I'm glad you described that to me because I got my Cincy hat yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I did get one for myself, and they do come pretty quick. So once you order it, they're pretty quick at getting it to you.
Our buddy Dusty, who does the Bengals Army podcast, not to interrupt there, but he ordered one, didn't realize that it got the mid crown in, and he was like, I would probably barely wear this. So he actually contacted them, and they said, send it back, we'll send you a mid crown like that. And he had just ordered for this the other day and had his hat already, and now, but they were willing to be like, oh, he didn't know they were coming out with this, today. So it worked out well. So
I must have a giant head because the sucker fit right on my head.
No. I have like one of the biggest heads in the world and all that. And it fits okay, but when they just said we're coming out for big-headed guys, I'm like, hey, go figure with me and all that.
It just made me think like, damn, I didn't know I had a big-ass head like that.
I felt appreciated, to be honest with you. I felt like somebody finally got me,
It's a good thing I didn't get that mid-crown hat because it'd been sitting on top of my giant head, probably wouldn't have fit.
So, and I'm guessing it might still fit, it might still fit width-wise and everything.
Yeah.
It's a very tall hat, so this one won't be as tall. Because, I'll be honest, there is like a little bit on mine that's like, it's almost like, I might have to get one of those mid-crowns.
They're really nice hats, too.
No, I might have to get myself one myself.
No crap, I haven't, unfortunately,
They got so many different ones you can get. This is the one I got for myself. And look how they even put they got a little American flag on it. Real nice, snapback. Good quality, real good quality hat.
Yeah, it's a nice hat. So, and that's what I mean. But if you get that or you want to do that, it doesn't matter to us because whatever you're doing, you're sending something to help the village of Mariachi. And I know that we had now it'd be over. It's probably $350 to $400 in purchases and $100 in donations. So, every little bit helps. So that's awesome that we've been able to do that. And, like I said, we're hoping to have Ted on, if not next week, the week after. But, we're still, I think, aiming for next week. We just, we'll get with I haven't wanted to bother them all the time. We've just been doing the show and, trying to get the donations in. And then we get big, sexy Ted on here. Hopefully he's got him one of these nice, ice cold Miller Lights. And I can live a dream here along with the rest of you where I'm, even though it's virtual, I'm having a beer with Ted Karras.
I'm going to go grab me some Miller Lights that day. I got some Miller High Life, but I'm going to get me a Miller Light for that day. That way I can drink a beer with Dale and Ted Karras.
And even if he's not drinking, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to be excited to talk to the man. He's awesome. But if he's drinking a Miller Light, that's just going to be an added bonus.
He is great, man. I was watching that thing that the Bengals put up, the 2002 season. They got to play us. I was watching that before I went to bed and watching Teddy Karras on there, man. That dude is hype at the games,
Of course. So Houday Joe said to the Facebook, he went and let him know that it wasn't working. And I was like, oh, well, that's a good time for me to try again. And now it worked. So boom. You might be up on Facebook now. So that was difficulties I couldn't control. But YouTube, you can always go back and watch what you missed on YouTube.
Anybody does it on YouTube and has a friend on Facebook, call them up and tell them we're ready to go.
Yeah. That now it's working. I don't control it. It's a Facebook thing. Fucking Mark Zuckerberg. That son of a bitch.
Right.
I shouldn't have said that. Now we'll be canceled.
Hey, listen, he heard it. That's for damn sure.
We're fucked.
You start talking about raincoats. Next thing you know, on your Facebook timeline, it's trying to sell your raincoat.
Yeah, I always get those wish ones, man. I get some real kinky and weird wish ones, which come on now. It's understandable probably why I get those.
Right. Probably because your phone's laying in front of you while we're doing this show.
Yeah. Which apparently, I was up this morning and I fell back asleep with my phone in my hand, which I tend to do a lot anyways. I'm always terrified what I'm going to happen, which finally happened. Poor job, you were asleep. Derek was asleep, luckily, but Joe answered. I was asleep. I FaceTimed him.
Oh.
So, he's sitting there. I don't know. I think it went for a good over 5 minutes that he listened to me snore. And
I've done that before,
and
man.
I talk in my sleep some, so I think I woke up saying some shit because I kind of remember that. And I remember him being like, is this a joke? But apparently he got a good laugh out of it, so I'm glad I could make Joe laugh.
Could he see anything on the FaceTime?
No, I think the phone was flat down, but he was trying to record it and the audio didn't work, so thank God for that, so we don't have that to play on here. That's embarrassing already just to think about.
I've done that before, man. Everybody does that. If somebody butt dials you or something, you just listen for a while, like, what are they saying?
Yeah. Well, mine just I fall asleep. I've sent out tweets while I was asleep,
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of times it's just rambling nonsense. But I'm I wasn't even on Twitter before I fell asleep, It's weird. One
of my friends who works with me, a nurse, she takes Ambien and she has woke up and ordered a bunch of candles and shit, like had a $300 candle order. Listen to this, what she did. This is no lie. she woke up one morning and she looked at her text, and she didn't know it, but she had been texting her pool guy, and he was about to move into her basement because he had just recently broke up with his wife, separated, and she kicked him out, and she told him he could come live in her basement. And then she woke up and she saw the text. She was like, oh shit. So she just lied and said she's single, but she lied and said that her husband's like she talked to her husband, and he was like, no, that can't happen. But
so
she
literally accidentally texted the person that can.
She just does shit. The Ambien, she does shit.
Oh, she's
on the Ambien if she doesn't go to bed, and she doesn't remember it. So she had the pool guy moving into her basement.
Yeah, it's just like, sure, you can move in. I don't care.
He had 2 kids too.
Hit.
The pool guy and 2 kids were going to move into the basement.
Moving
and
in
then
the
she
whole
woke
damn
up and saw the text.
That would have been some shit. She would have woke up and he would have been like at the doorstep with all his stuff and his 2 kids.
Yeah, right. So now she sets an alarm, and she takes that Ambien, and if she's not in bed in a half an hour when that alarm goes off, she makes sure she's in bed sleeping.
It's like a werewolf type thing, you know.
Yes.
I got to be chained and locked in at this time.
Right. It's hilarious.
I don't know what you're talking about, Crip, but obviously as big Zeus fans, we got to see this. Orlando Brown Jr., a day in the life. Is this when he's on the Chiefs, though? This from like last season?
Well, it ain't when he's on the Bengals, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless it was recent, you know, but still, I'd still probably watch it. But still,
I was wondering, did he go to the ring ceremony?
No, he did not.
No.
He said he was.
Man, I understand where it's coming from, but that'd have been hard not to go to that ring ceremony, wouldn't it, and celebrate that?
He figures he can do it next year.
Well, he damn sure will too. I was also thinking, you think Mike Brown's going to put them video screens inside the boxes and shit?
No.
He'll do it. It'll be, I don't give a fuck. It'll be like this. Whoop. Nice. And I will get my replica.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a couple of the Dan Horde observations, but is there anything before I just jump into kind of reading those off and we discuss those things? I know one of the Dan Horde things might be what you already want to talk about, Greg. Do you have the patience to wait for that?
Luthervosh.
So that's a tease. Not that everyone couldn't have known what Greg would be most excited.
It's a tease that we're about to see Greg's nipples.
Hey man, I tell you what. I'll even admit to myself, I was shocked myself. A little shocked myself. He has come this far and all that. I'm just saying, man. Like
I'm excited. It's the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm excited now, man. I mean, like I say, man, he's cooking just right now. That I've told him I told you guys he's an uncooked ribeye. And looks like he's cooking very nice right now. Trey Walters.
Well, you're talking about Yosvosh. I was going back to Orlando.
Yeah, we're still talking about Orlando. Zeus, my best friend.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the Bengals. That day in the life is the Bengals. The Bengals sent it out, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
So that's awesome. Maybe you guys are in it. If it's about Zeus.
I bet you we are.
It's like, oh, here's Pork Chop and Greg, 2 of Zeus's best friends since he came to Cincinnati.
Oh, shit. It just came out 20 minutes ago. Damn, we got to see this.
That's what I was saying, Greg. That's why I had to say that. But you were like, Yosvosh.
I was all sorry, man. You know how distracted I get.
I should have kept those the audio comments because Chop missed those as well. I sent the thing to the group chat about Yosvosh, and I was like, I wonder how hard Greg is about this. And Greg just sent back like 3 audio. Well, the audio messages disappear after a couple minutes.
Oh, I haven't had time to review the group chat.
3 very thirsty is the way I'll describe it. Messages. That's all I can say.
I'll put it this way, man. I put it this way. I don't think it was shocking to anybody.
It was very thirstiness. But yeah, these are from, I believe, yesterday's practice, the Dan Horde observation. So this is going to make Greg wait even longer to get to Yosvosh. So Dan Horde, he had his son out there and basically just told him, like, man, don't take it for granted. You're out here in practice watching Joe Burrow call plays and play football. You know, you're going to sit out here and watch this. Like, don't take that for granted that you have this opportunity. That's pretty cool, you know. He's like, yeah, you're a coach's son, but try to keep your kid grounded. That's like anything in life, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to raise little assholes. They're assholes enough, like on their own.
No matter what you do, they're going to be somewhat of an asshole. One shade of asshole to another shade.
At least try to tell them what's right and wrong every now and again. Right. Maybe they won't be as much of an asshole when they grow up, but
right.
So I thought So that was one of his observations. And then the other one, it's like Joe Burrow being Joe Burrow, moving around these obstacles and then off platform throw, bam, crossbar right in the middle, 20 yards out, perfect throw. It's Joe Burrow. Are we surprised?
No.
You got
Man,
anything,
he
Greg?
is looking sexy too in those pictures. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that one they sent out today. That's just not fair.
I haven't
right?
seen the one today. I'm
Oh,
talking
you
about
missed the one.
ones in the
Oh,
past.
yeah, the one today. He's got his sleeveless shirt and he's walking, carrying.
Hey, Dale, what's the term Marissa always uses? A trap picture,
Thirst trap.
Thirst trap. That's right.
Yeah. Who'd AD Ray that hopped in? Charlie Jones. So that's one. And there's video of it. Hauled in a red zone touchdown. Wide receiver coach said about him, which you're also, it's both the rookies. Because yesterday he's talking about Charlie and he's saying he's gotten better every day. He loves football. He's here in the facility as I'm leaving the office. It just shows you how much he wants it. So he's there. He's still there. He's always there. I mean, that was Irwin, who probably doesn't have the natural talent or speed of Charlie Jones, but Irwin constantly in the building, right? That was something, and kid just kept working his way to stay around. And, it paid off last year with him getting 4 touchdowns. And, even if it's not here, I think Irwin's going to have a spot in the NFL for quite a while because he's earned it and worked that hard. But you take Irwin's work ethic with the guy with a little more natural athleticism and things like that, and hey, that could be a really, really good thing for us.
Man, I got a great feeling about fucking Chuck Sizzle.
No, David, I'm not high.
Well, were you cutting grass? Did you work today?
Yeah. No, yeah, I worked today. I cut grass. I had to get a tree out with the tractor. That tree was stubborn as a mule and all that, man. Yeah, I had to deal with all kinds of crap today.
You didn't spray no weeds, though?
I did spray weeds.
He's high.
He's high. When he sprays
man.
those weeds, man, Greg is always a little.
I don't know. The new drug is called Roundup.
Yeah. You got rounded up all right.
Yeah.
That's what you've been getting high on that Roundup for so long, Greg. You don't even realize it.
Man, you think Roundup's bad. Try Treflan. No, not Treflan. What's there's another thing called Triad. There's all kinds of stuff.
Toradol, Greg.
That's right.
Toradol.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever day you spray them weeds, you ought to try Uber or try Lyft.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what a high person would say.
Exactly.
So, and then also yesterday, we had the final snap of the mandatory minicamp because it was Tuesday through Thursday, so it officially ended yesterday, which is why we titled this The Wrap Up.
How sad does that make
Not
you?
because we were able to wrap up anything on our penis and have sex with our wives.
It's not going to happen.
Right,
Nope.
Chop?
No, never. Not again. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I'm glad the guys get some rest. I'm glad the fellas get some rest. But how sad are you that mandatory minicamp is over?
I mean,
it was nice seeing the videos, though, man.
Nice,
seeing
right?
the guys out on the field. But I'm super stoked about them releasing the schedule for the.
But now maybe
for
they get a
training.
little break and Ted Karras can come on our show, so then it's all worth it.
That's
Well,
true. That's true.
that-
This is the break where we try to get some people on here, and Teddy's going to be able to come on. If they're still in camp, he wouldn't be coming.
Neither are we.
That's true.
Yeah, Dale, I'll be going to training camp like crazy. I'll be your reporter, like how Tony Pike calls in Mo all the time. So I'll be your reporter. There you go.
And so that schedule came out yesterday. For anybody who hasn't seen it, it's on the Bengals site and stuff like that. Does anybody remember the first date that it's open to the public off the top of their head?
July 23rd, I think.
Third. I know it's in that range, but you can, if you don't mind looking that up. So, and maybe read off some of those
it's
dates.
easy for me to look up because,
already had it
everybody's friend Cap Bangle put out a schedule that you can download to your Google your Google Calendar. Boom, and it fills in all the dates.
So where's that at for people to find?
If you just go to Cap's Twitter, you can find it on there. What is it, at Bengals Captain, right?
Yeah, I believe so. There is a fake Bengals captain out there.
There is, but you know what? I don't see that anymore when I put it up there. So that guy must be laying low for the offseason.
Maybe.
Yeah, so the 26th is the first day I see it. July 26th.
Yeah, 26th. Family Day. There's the 29th, I believe. That's Saturday.
That's what because I was like, oh, the 26th. And I was like, oh, shoot, Family Day is already like the 29th. So
right.
I just got to see if I'm going to that. If not, I might try to make it to one of those.
Oh, Dale, don't say you're going. Don't hesitate.
Well, you remember last year, right? I got there late.
Right.
There was no seating. We left after like I had the whole family, and we left after like 15 minutes.
Why?
After driving 2 hours both ways. But then we went to the mall, whatever. Greg, when you have daughters, and especially like the older one, when she goes, I mean, she's 17 now. She's 16 last year. She could give two shits about football in the Bengals.
Yeah, right.
At least my 13-year-old, at least she watches it. She likes it some, and she's went to the last 2 preseason home games with me when I went to preseason games, and she'll probably go to this one with me. So she cares a little more, like, but it's still like not that.
Gotcha. All right.
And it's hot as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, when you get them out there and it's hot as hell and you got nowhere to set, it's like, well, and they're just complaining, and I'm buying $10 waters I'm like, we just got here, and then we have like a whole thing of water in the car that we brought.
No,
I had to buy a $10 water, Greg, in the first 5 minutes.
Well, Dale, if you're smart how you do it and all that, I'm not going to reveal anything else.
No, you can bring water in with the freaking lid on it, and I told them to, and they forgot them in the car.
Oh, why would they do that?
Ice cold waters, Greg.
Why would they do that, Dale?
That's what.
Because they're kids, Greg.
Yeah.
No.
And me, I knew we were late, so you think I was worried about waters? I was like trying to get in there and see
no, you would have been happy because me and James, I know we both had our Bengals and Bruce stuff. We're holding up to what's his name, Clark Harris, and he pointed us out and all that. I think he remembered us too. Yeah.
I know, Greg, and then I met with you guys first and got a picture with you guys and met you guys officially for the first time at that last year.
There you go.
So you don't even remember that, Greg?
I remember. What are you talking about? Sure, I remember that.
I can't believe he gets high on a little Roundup. Next thing you know, he doesn't even remember he's friends with people.
Don't bail me.
But no, you were the first 2 people that I stopped and talked to because we were talking and texting and stuff back and forth. And that's what you were like, well, you need to hurry again. I was like, Greg, don't worry about saving me a seat. I'm like, we're running late. I appreciate the offer and stuff.
All right.
But then you and James come out after, you had your seats and everybody else was there. And they come out and got a picture with me, talked to them for a few minutes. And then I went and ran into the Iceman and Bengals and Bourbon. And that's about it. I'm pretty sure. It wasn't long after that we left them.
Right.
Went to and it exploded, and look at where we're at now.
Exactly.
But I'll schedule days off for training camp, so I'll be down there.
No, me and Pork Chop will be on the prowl and all that.
Oh, you know what? The first week, I was looking at my schedule. It's like the first week, I already had a vacation schedule, and I'm not going anywhere. So my vacation is going to be at Paycor.
No, and Pork Chop, man, don't you dare try to recruit Yossi Voss, man. I got dibs recruiting him first on my show. I'm just kidding.
You're on this show, Greg.
Okay, both shows. Sorry. I'm a secret agent for both shows.
Well, just do it for the show that you're on the most.
Yep. Well, that's true. Well, no, do we have a business card? I got to get a business card, Dale.
This one's 3 days a week. That one's 1 day a week.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I think you can bring him on here.
Both.
Regardless, anyways, no. But yeah, for training camp, I'm thinking I haven't been to one since it's been in Cincinnati. Like I used to go a lot when it was in Georgetown, which I mean, honestly, was even farther. That was actually a place, believe it or not, that was farther than 2 hours away from me. It was like 3 to 3.5 hours away from me.
It was like 2 hours from me.
No, I love going down there though, man. It was cool to drive.
Yeah, Georgetown was really cool when
I loved it.
They used to sign a lot, like it's just a lot. It was a lot different, honestly. Set up in the way things were. It was really cool when it was in Georgetown. Well, I don't think it's quite the same in Cincinnati, but still, it's.
Well, dude, it gets so crowded now. Like I remember, like back in the days, like when the Dalton years, like one side where there'd be no people, it's crowded all the way around, and like it is so crowded these days when you go there, man.
Yeah, and this D-Ray saying last one they went to was in Wilmington. I never went to one in Wilmington, but I went to the one in Georgetown at least 3 or 4 times, at least 3 or 4 different years.
Georgetown was cool, man. You made a day out of it. You go down there. They had a stadium. They had that field in the back, where you could watch stuff and then go chill in the stadium and had, concessions. And it was just
I heard it was awesome too.
So my brother, his fraternity friend got me on the field and all that. I got to be on the field for practice. I got my picture taken with Cedric Benson, Andre Smith, Ray Maluga, Andy Dalton. It was so cool down there to go on the field.
Yeah.
That's where Hard Knocks was with the Bengals.
No, Hard Knocks was there the year before and all that.
I'm just saying that they were there the one
year. No, they were there. Yeah, a child, please. Yeah.
Yeah. And Cedric Benson, rest his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a pic. My daughter got a picture with him, and Marissa got to hold her, and then one of my friends got a picture with him. Yeah. So he was always nice, and yeah, Marissa thought he was real nice.
Yeah, he was.
She she would have fucked him.
See,
Greg, that's what I was saying.
He would have, because he came in the strip club.
Did he?
Yeah.
Strip club?
Yeah. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, he did seem like a great guy. Like, it was like a motorcycle accident or something, wasn't it? Unfortunate thing. Like, sucks.
Yeah,
but I'm glad he was able to come here and kind of get his career back on track, being a number 4 pick. Chicago.
No, he had a great career here. Benson had a great career here.
Well, that's why I remember when we did our Mount Rushmore running backs, it was tough to leave him off of there.
Yes, it was.
He's like right in that mix. So, and we've had some really good running backs too.
Yes, we
it's
did.
not like we haven't. Not like tight end. Tight end, man, was the hardest one to fill out to me. It's a lot of them's been older. It's been so long.
Yeah. We've had a lot of good potential.
Well, see, Dale, that's when we needed. That's why I need to get Tom on the show, because Tom, who's like a Bengals encyclopedia, we need to get him on here, because like some of the players in the 80s we probably don't know much about. He could probably tell you about every single player.
He could definitely help break some tiebreakers or give us a little different perspective on some things. I agree.
Yes,
but back to the Dan Horde stuff from yesterday, because we got today's also, and then we got some time to. Oh crap! We've been doing that half the time already, but that's kind of.
I don't even have to work today.
Yeah, because we got another show at 7 with TikTok Tyler. So number 4 from yesterday, final snap of the minicamp, 60-yard field goal, try by Evan McPherson. Money Mac's kick was good, despite being into the wind. So good to see. Last year. It wasn't as good as his rookie year. I mean, we can just say it, right? We're not
right.
It wasn't awful. It wasn't ideal. I think he's better than what he showed last year, and I think obviously, having Clark go out early and things didn't help. But there was just sometimes where he'd miss extra points and things that it's like, man, why is he missing these? It was almost like a little bit of concentration issues too. But obviously, some of the snaps I don't think were great at times. But it's another year. Cal seems to be snapping well. I think he'll bounce back is what I'm getting to, basically. I think Evan's going to bounce back and have an incredible season this year.
Yes, I think so,
Not that he had a bad one last year, just not as good as what I think he can have.
It's going to be like his settle-in season. Like the first season, he came out hot. The next season, it's his sophomore year. And this year, he's going to settle in. And it's going to be a great season. I agree with you 100%. And Cal's going to be healthy. We're going to have a long snapper. We're going to have the same placeholder. Everything's going to be good going throughout the whole season.
And then this is the question Crip was asking. He asked it in the comments the other day. I think I tried to answer it the best I could and say it could have been a couple things. But this is one of the things you listed, Chop, when you were going through the top divorce when the UPS driver said it was UPS guys, and you Google searched. And it's like the second one you said was telephone operator. Mm-hmm. So Crip's wanting to know. Serious question from him.
Telephone operator could be like the 911 dispatcher when you call someone that picks up the telephone.
That's what I said. Like
I didn't even read the comment.
For the police,
or like if you call a hospital, there's an operator that picks up.
I said or sex line.
Or that's it.
That's technically a telephone operator. Also,
it is.
So that's what I mean.
It's a higher paid telephone operator.
Well, and you think if it's a police officer one, man, I'm not saying this about all police officers. If you're a police officer or you're married to one or whatever, but I'm just saying from the ones around my area and places, there have been a lot of police officers that have a lot of extramarital activities that go on that probably.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's a phone operator and this and that, I'm just saying that I'm trying to put together the divorce rates with the job. So between that and if a phone operator is one of those sex lines, well, unless unless you're like me, I'd be like, go ahead, do that sex line. We need the extra cash.
That's because there's a group of people out there that love policemen. They call them badge bunnies.
It's a fact.
And I work with security guards, and some of those are ex-policemen, and they strive to be policemen, and they said that police, they get around.
Yeah, that's what I've heard quite a bit. But
yeah, it's all rumor, though.
Yeah, and, in a lot of jobs, there's a lot of that. Life, there's a lot of that. Whatever. So not just to say that about just police officers, but we're trying to.
And they should, man. They're out there protecting us. Let them get a little action.
Yeah.
I'm not against it.
Yeah. Pork chop, you jerk one off?
Yeah. Why not?
He'd say, you earned it.
I mean, especially if it gets me out of a ticket, right?
Yeah.
I want to pay $95 for going 35 and a 25 or whatever.
$95, a little quick hand job.
I mean, how much does a Kleenex cost?
Exactly.
Wipe your hand, throw it away.
Exactly. And that's your crude segment of the day.
That's right. There's the crude.
And then this other one, I mean, whatever. They split up and did a 3-point contest, whatever. Stanley Morgan hit the game winner. Good job, Stanley Morgan.
Hey, did you see Stanley Morgan was rated like the number, was it 13 best special teams player in the
really
NFL?
Good. I'm just saying better than that.
Well, we were talking about Josivac coming up as the gunner and stuff like that, and how he's been doing great. And then I saw that stat about Stanley Morgan. Was it the 13th best special teamer?
I didn't see it.
But they did a thing about special teamers, and he's way up there as one of the best special teamers in the NFL. So it's going to be hard to knock him off his post, even though I know Greg, you can't put the camera down there because he's got a fucking boner because we're just talking about Josivac.
Facts. But,
Greg's down there like, fuck Stanley Morgan, son of a bitch.
Stanley's been great here, great on special teams, and it would be hard to just keep him off because you know what you get from him day in, day out for years. And, I mean, Joe loves him as well, and I'm sure that carries some weight. Yep. But, yeah, Bosch is coming on. There's only so many spots. I'm just saying, the younger guy sometimes gets the nod too. So, I think that, like, we predicted 7 multiple times. So, I think there's a world where all of them stay, but then who's active? But if Josivac is so good and he's going to be active because he's doing what he can do on special teams, potentially, like, do it well, do you keep Stanley? Do you keep Stanley around and have him inactive some? Like, maybe it depends on the game.
I don't know, because if you can't put him on a practice squad, somebody probably grab him up.
But he could be a game day inactive if you keep – because if they keep 7, they're only going to dress 5 or 6 still on game day.
Right.
So it's basically keeping them to – and that's what I thought Josivac would be ultimately. He would make the final 53, and then he'd be a game day inactive. But then you start seeing some of the reports out here of how well he's doing, and he's playing special teams, and it's like, well, maybe he's going to creep his way into being active some.
He's going to have to do real damn good to take over that special teams gunner spot from Stanley Morgan.
He's saying Chris Crowley, our dude, is saying the Saul special teams ranking of Michael Thomas had him around 10. Yeah, Thomas is good too, even though he's older. He's been a stud for us and stayed around here now, basically going into his 3rd year. I know he wasn't here the whole first year. It was partway through. But getting into this is like an extra set that Dan put out today of his 5 observations that just came out today, if anyone hasn't seen them, on Dan Hord's Twitter. Dan_Horde. Everybody loves Dan Horde. He's the freaking man. But 5 extra observations. The first one, he had the visual evidence of Cheeto, which we've kind of talked about already. And Zach Taylor just said he's done a great job attacking the rehab and doing the things you have to do. So he's looking great. We saw him going through that ladder drill, which is part of this. I mean, he freaking looks incredible. So, and we all think Cheeto will be there. Game 1, Cheeto starting corner.
Yeah.
That's what I was reading. Who's a Paul Dainert's article in The Athletic, and it was talking about how Cheeto will be back for Cleveland.
Greg.
Oh yeah, that's true.
DJ Ivy was eating Josivac's lunch in the clips from practice.
I heard DJ Ivy was. He had he picked him off, and it would have been a pick 6. He picked that they were going for Josivac.
Oh well.
He just says,
I don't give a fuck.
He don't care if it's negative. He ignores it. Yeah, but that does lead me into Dan Horde's observation 2. Speaking of Cheeto as well, and speaking of fried bologna, when I asked him about 2nd-round pick DJ Turner, he made it a point to also discuss, and this is Cheeto discussing, 7th-rounder DJ Ivy. So they are both keen to the game of football. Quotes from Cheeto. The coaches are asking them questions, and I don't think that I've heard them answer one wrong yet. So not only are they out there making good plays on the field, and we know how fast Drago, DJ Burner is, but to also be a student of the game and be that far ahead in the playbook, him and DJ Ivy, that can only help them and help them to see the field more potentially this year or next year and stay around for DJ Ivy's sake being a 7th-round pick. But it seems like we haven't talked about him a lot, but Porchop, I think that was you that mentioned him the other day, that you had seen that he was out there balling and playing pretty well and heard some good stuff. So yeah, that's in here as well.
Man, the coaches love him. said he's doing everything right. So it's going to be a competition at the cornerback, man. It's a deep ass. Going into the draft, we were thinking we needed to beef up that position, but it's beefed up now.
And I shouldn't put this comment up because it's probably going to get any viewers we do have to leave, but that's not a competition, Crip.
Right.
Godfather, AC, and John, man, they've been doing this longer, and we love AC. That's not a competition.
AC's the man.
We can't compete with those guys. We're aware of that.
That's the reason we call him the Godfather.
Yeah. But now I'd probably just lose any of the viewers we did have. Like,
right.
Oh, didn't know they were on. Thanks, Crip.
Yeah.
We were watching these bums because we're thirsty for some football,
right.
but we got these guys on. But yeah, I mean, I'm pumped about the DJ Ivy. Like, if he can be something, because you get to the 7th round and it's such a crapshoot, and these guys don't make the roster a lot of years, and a lot of times they don't even last past like the first season.
Yeah,
these guys. But then you have the rare Hushmanzadas, that were 7th round picks. And
J.C. Jackson, one of the best corners in the league, 7th round pick.
You just never know, right?
Yeah.
And if he's getting these good reviews early. And corner depth, right? Corners get injured. We talk about it all the time. Having corner depth is huge. So DJ, and then also, like we said, Alan George was out there with the first team. And then the next day, Sidney Jones is out there with the first team, and he gets an interception. And it's like, okay. And then Cheeto's coming back. Cam Taylor-Britt hasn't gone anywhere. DJ Ivy, DJ Turner. It's like, okay. That's 6 guys. And that's not even mentioning Jalen Davis, who they gave a 2-year deal to. I didn't even mention Mike Hilton.
Dude, Sidney Jones, man, that was a sweet interception. Man, I'm really excited to see what he can do. 1st round draft pick. I know we had injuries, but I said when we signed him, I'm like, man, if anybody can revamp him, it's Lou.
Hey, and I was watching Locked On, and I don't know if it was Jake or James were saying that maybe DJ Ivy turns out to be the Brock Purdy of this draft.
Man,
I mean.
You never know.
He's a big Ivy's a big guy, isn't he? Like 6'3" or something.
Yeah, and they said his arm length is insane, which is obviously nice for a corner.
And no, he was like a 4-year starter in Miami, wasn't he? It's not like he had like 1 year starting. He was a veteran starter.
Yeah, he was there for 5 years. He took an extra year thing as well, and
which is common in this draft because of COVID.
Yeah, early on, he actually it seemed like he had better stats and production when he was young, and then it seemed like his production dipped. And then it seemed like he kind of bounced back and was a little better this year, but it seems like, excuse me, at least at Miami-wise, he was kind of up and down. And like you said, though, Lou is a cornerback guy, a defensive guru, but corner specifically is what he came up doing and coaching. So Lou, I have a lot of faith in him. And that's the same thing with Alan George. I think he's coached him up, and I've got a lot of faith in these guys. Yes, D-Ray on here. Some good young talent we have on this team. I agree, man.
Is exactly what we need because we got guys that are about to get paid. So we need that good young talent at that good young money.
You can't pay them all.
That's right.
And then getting to number 3 on Dan Horde's observations today. Andre Yostabach is an opposing target. And this is a quote from Troy Waters, the wide receiver coach. I thought he was going to need a lot of development. That's not the case. When you get on the field, you feel him. He's big. He's strong. He's fast.
And he's down to get the friction on.
So I'm excited to put the pads on and get to work with him. Come on, Greg.
Let's do this.
Fast, strong hands. He's broken. What just happened?
This is your moment, Greg.
Dude, you guys, I'm just
I made him wait too long. Wait too long, Pork Chop.
No, I'm excited. So, think of it as, like I say, you just look at the talent the guy has and, the smarts, him going to Princeton, don't have to question smarts, is willing to great work ethic. I'm just saying, I don't want to say I'm too shocked, but Dale, man, I know we were in a group chat and Dale look, Greg, no offense to you, but I trust the coaches more than I trust you and all that, which is a very fair statement because I've been wrong before millions of times. So it's a very fair statement. But, dude, I'm just excited. This is my number one player to watch. Why I'm looking forward to the preseason, Andre Yostabach is who I'm looking forward to, damn it.
Well, and adding to that, Greg, he's just balled out. He
dude,
went to the Senior Bowl and he balled out,
He did.
He balled out at Princeton, and it's like, well, the level of competition. Well, then he went to the Senior Bowl, and he played really well. And that's Senior Bowl. Almost everybody in the Senior Bowl gets drafted, you know. So he balled out there. Now he's here, and he's playing well. And we just talked about the corners, and maybe and iron sharpens iron, right? So maybe DJ Ivy is getting the best of him some.
There you go.
Well, yeah, no, like I said, man, hey, you know what, man? I'm not going to let anybody, say, oh, DJ Ivy was doing this. Look, man, everybody's going to ball out in practice. I'm not worried until we hit the field and all that. Let's just wait till we hit the field. I have no doubt Yossi Voss can succeed. I mean, do I think he's going to have a big impact this year? Hell no. But, dude, you never know what can happen. We never know.
How nice would it be, though, if it's like, okay, our corners every day, which, I mean, this I think's been the case. Every day they're facing the best wide receiver crew they're going to face all season. That's, I think, has been true for a couple of years.
Exactly.
But then what on the flip side, if our wide receivers are facing the best corners that they're going to see all season long, because our corners has the potential to start being that good. And that was no knock on what we had before, but, Eli Apple having to fill in and be your starter wasn't elite. Why, if that was the case, why has no one else signed him? Now, I'm not shitting on him because he played solid, very solid for us these last couple of years. But the potential Cam Taylor-Britt has over Eli Apple to me is night and day. Like, I see Cam Taylor-Britt as a potential Pro Bowl lockdown. And Cheeto was playing at a Pro Bowl level last year. If he can get back, which, I mean, all going through that damn ladder drill, you say, okay, he's not 100%. Yeah, okay, he's going to be good. But that's what – and then Mike Hilton, you still got him. And then you bring in a fourth corner here and there, and it's DJ Turner or it's Sidney Jones or it's Alan George, insert player, I feel so good about this cornerback group and depth, and I'm just damn excited for this whole season. I keep saying it, and I'm not one to just be like, oh, we're going to win it every year.
No,
I don't say that. And people will say, oh, the first half of the season we're going 8-0. I'm like, no, it don't work that way. Last year, like at times I'll be the wet blanket, and it's just because my opinion. My opinion is my opinion. I try not to get too high or low about things. But with that said, if we don't win a Super Bowl this season, it's going to be a huge disappointment.
Right.
Like last year, I kind of understood. Coming off a brutal Super Bowl loss, it's always hard to bounce back from that historically. It just is.
Well, Dale,
still did well to bounce back, but this year there's like none of that. We don't have that.
Well, Dale, like this is out of all years watching the Bengals, I was going to ask you, is this the biggest depth team you ever seen, like in every position, literally with depth wise?
I mean, flat out, depth wise, and just going into the season being so confident that like we should be and we are favored Vegas wise in almost every game, but like 2. I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't have a great season. Now, freak things happen. I get it, knock on wood, but just we're loaded. We're loaded. We're hungry. The Chiefs just keep giving us ammo too. Yeah. And I get it. Whatever. I don't get in that bullshit back and forth stuff, and I don't really care. But they just, the back and forth still continues, and I feel like they've given us way more ammunition this offseason than Jamar Chase saying Pat who. They've been waiting on us to give them something back, and we really hadn't. So, in a way, I wish Jamar wouldn't have said that because we hadn't really given them anything. But Travis Kelce has not gotten the Cincinnati Bengals out of his mouth since we played them. It's been nonstop.
Best team in 45 years. I'll agree. This team is great. Yeah. And I saw a quote, best O-line since 2015.
Agreed.
Zach Taylor said that this is the best that they've went into camp, Dude,
Zach Taylor's a good coach, and you still have Lou, and you still have Brian Callahan. So you kept your coaching staff intact too.
Exactly. Thank God that the NFL decided to go young offensive coaches. That way we could keep Lou around. I mean, it's selfish. Of us because Lou does he deserve a head coaching gig? Hell yeah, he does. But man, I'm selfish as hell. I'm glad that he stayed here, Greg.
Dude, poor chap, man. I like those 2 or 3 days where I was just so nervous. I'll never forget where I was. I was at work. I'm like, okay, are we going to keep Lou? Keep Lou. Yeah. So my buddy at work, I was getting something out of the truck. He's like, oh, Greg, Cardinals hired he said, Cardinals hired Lou. I look at my phone, and it said Carlos Hyde Gannon. he was kidding around with me. I'm like, you son of a.
I wonder if they actually.
And that guy hasn't been seen since what day was that, Greg?
Well, no. He was out of work for 6 weeks and all that because of his kid and all that. But no, he's back now, though. He's back now. No, Mark, if you watch this, man, I still love you, buddy. But that was not funny that day you played a trick on me. Not funny, but I got over it. Don't ever do that.
If you were driving the tractor that day, that guy's life is definitely in jeopardy.
Yeah.
No.
No, come on, Crip. All I'm saying is this by far the best team because it's everywhere.
Yes, it is. It is.
Offense, the depth, the line.
I'm just repeating what the Bengals players and the sports writers have said.
The defense, the kicker, the punter, Brad Robbins, it's everywhere.
So, hey, Dale, I need to cover. Are you? Can I add something onto this, or is there something else you still want to cover before we go?
I have Dan Ward's 2 things, but I can save them.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I was talking to this one guy. He's still kind of a Bengals hater. He's like, "Why isn't Joe Burrow signed?" I was listening to a national writer. He says this contract should have been done a long time ago. I'm like, dude, shut the hell up, man. Okay, I mean, they're waiting for Justin Herbert.
Exactly.
They're waiting to see what he's going to get. Everybody's like, this is the same guy that said the Bengals didn't even sign Burrow till after the Super Bowl or anything. But because they have to wait 3 years after his rookie contract. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. Don't just try to make statements when you don't know the facts, dude.
Or you'll be buried next to the duck.
Yes.
Buried next to the duck.
Yes, along with the bird that was just dead today.
Now he killed a bird today.
I know, I didn't kill a bird. The bird was already dead.
Sure it was, Greg.
The bird was already dead, and my one coworker ran over the bird and just put it out of its misery.
That's what reminded you to see when everybody wanted to go to the Eagle, probably.
Yeah.
So Jesse says, "Are coaches allowed to be traded like players? We need a first for Lou. Head coaches, but not like when it's a promotion. There's nothing you can do. Like they're allowed to always take a promotion,
right?
But man, I feel you. He's worth a first round pick.
And both of those coaches, man, Zach Taylor and Lou, when they came here, I don't speak for the whole fan base, but I know that friends that we have and me personally, I was like, man, come on, man. The quarterback coach.
Oh, 100%. I am
Lou Anarumo. Come on.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. And
how happy are we to be wrong?
I am thrilled to be wrong.
Dude,
because Zach, I didn't know about. I'm like, this could go either way, but I'm not. I want to be enemy. Straight up. I
did too.
Hire be enemy.
Yeah.
So I definitely, but the Zach hire wasn't like, oh, that's terrible. But
no.
It scared the hell out of me because he hadn't even been an offense coordinator, and he was going to keep play calling. He had been an offense coordinator for UC for 1 year, and they had a terrible season. So just going off of like that knowledge, and then he was quarterback and wide receiver coach before being there's not any head coaching experience on any level, and I'm sitting there like, oh shit, man, that scares me, and Bieniemy had been at least calling plays for a long time,
right?
Or was he? That's always the debate with Andy Reid.
I kind of wanted Jack Del Rio.
I did too.
As D coordinator,
he was going to be I think he was going to be our D coordinator. I don't know. I think it was just a last second disagreement. Remember,
I think he wanted. It kind of came out. I think he wanted more control and more power and more say than what Zach and everyone was willing to give him.
Right.
So it wasn't a fit. It's kind of how that happened.
Well, remember that Florida defensive coordinator we tried to hire, and he turned us down in state Florida, and he got fired from Florida.
Todd Grantham, I think.
Yeah, Todd Grantham. So, but Lou, look, I've said this on Rally Around the Natty. Lou Anarumo has every right to come up and punch me in the gut if he ever saw me. I will let him punch me in the gut for being wrong.
And I always give Malik Wright huge credit on this because even after a year or two, we were like, oh man, I don't think Lou's the guy,
Right.
And he had seen flashes. I can't remember what game it was against Miami or something. It was like one of those games that I don't know that you wouldn't even, but it was something. And he said, no, like he was all in with Lou, that Lou was going to be an excellent D coordinator. And damn it, Malik was 100% right on that because ever since then, it's been like to the moon with him and what he's been able to accomplish here as our coordinator.
Can we officially say Lou surpasses Mike Zimmer? Is that still kind of too soon, or is that even fair?
No, I've said it. I said it when somebody asked that earlier this offseason. I was like, you got to give it to him because what he's done in the postseason. Like, we always talk about that with players, right, and quarterbacks.
Right. Well, let me just say this, that and the fact that Mike Zimmer had a great defense, right?
He
But
did.
they played the same the whole game. Lou, we can go in at halftime like 23-0, and Lou remixes the defense, and he comes out, and then we hold them to nothing, and while Joe Burrow cooks, and we take over the lead.
His in-game adjustments is on a whole nother level than anything I've ever seen.
Lou Dini. That's exactly why he's called Lou Dini.
Yes, I completely agree, guys. And then that fourth one, Greg, no, there's a lot more on that, Greg. Sorry, because there's a lot more I want to talk about that you sent too. Along with that, there was a Daner article, right?
Yes, I wanted to talk about that too.
So let's go ahead and get to that before I do 4 and 5, because I kind of went with what you were saying with the Burrow extension, because all these were mixed in.
Yeah. So
do you have that quote or the?
No. So I had here I have it on Twitter here. Let me pull it up and all that. But it was pretty much Dana was making predictions, and this is you could say this is a pretty bold prediction. Dale, I'll put it this way:
he said it was a bold prediction that he made, but it sounded like he was pretty sure about part of it.
He says once Burrow signs his contract, Higgins, Wilson, and a mix and restructure will happen within a week. Dale, we would have a lot to talk about. We have to do a full 5 or 6. We have to do 2 shows a day that whole week. Do you think?
Shit, Greg, we might. I mean, if all that news is rolling in like that, because you don't know what time it's going to roll into.
Right, exactly. Because remember, I'll never forget that day, Dale. You did like 3 shows in one day, and nothing happened. All of a sudden, at 10:30 at night on Orlando Brown, we did an emergency show rally around the natty. I could tell you were kind of tired, but hell, man, I took my shirt off that day. I was happy as hell that night.
Yeah, I had done 3 shows. I had literally, from the time I got home from work, done shows till, I don't know, 8:30.
Right.
And then here it is, 10:30, and we sign Orlando, and you guys are – and I was like, dude, but it's like, you guys going to get – I'm like, no, I'm not. That's a terrible idea for me to get on there for another – I've been too hyped to even sleep that night if I just stayed and talked about it.
I mean, but you know what, though? Because you think about it, I wonder if the Burrow contract's holding up, so we're trying to map out the T. Higgins extension. At first I'm like, well, that's kind of crazy, but it's really not as crazy as it sounds, is it? If that
happens. Hey, I'll do it today. So Santori said – when I was talking to Santori, I see what I did there, Greg. But he really did today when I was talking to Santori.
Yeah.
We mentioned that too, because he was helping me about the Collins thing to help me understand and clarify his salary and things like that.
Oh,
but anyways,
good.
We talked about that, and he said, because I think the Burrow thing, they're probably 80% done already on Higgins and Wilson potentially, and we're hoping, they're 80% done or more on those contracts, and they're 90% with Joe. And then as they finish his up, they've got those ready to go. That could happen. I think him saying it all within the same week would be the bold part of that, because he sounded pretty sure about them happening in general.
Oh yeah, and Paul Dehner's a very honest person. A lot of times we'll get excited, and Paul Dehner be like, "Well, look, I don't think this is going to happen." Paul Dehner's a very honest person too.
Because we've said, we all see Burrow getting done. T still scares us because of his agent. Till it gets done, it's still a scary thought. Right. But I hope it gets done. And then Logan being younger, even though we talked about him and the Reader thing, I think most of us went with Logan as the more important one to get done first. So if those 3 get done, that's awesome. And then I had just kind of, like Greg thought I was saying, like, no, we're not going to talk about this. But my response was about the Mixon part of it, because I was like, Jesus, I thought we were done talking about Mixon enough this all season, and it turned into a big drama thing. But him still mentioning it, and him being a Bengals beat reporter and saying Mixon restructure, we have to still talk about it. That's all I was saying, Greg.
Okay.
Greg thought I was like mad at him or like not wanting to talk about this stuff at all, but I was just saying, when you think you're finally done talking about Mixon, then another report comes out like the next day.
Right. No, I get it and all that. Like I said, that if that all happens in 1 week, man, we are going to be stacked, man.
I'm telling you, they got the contracts already done. They're all sitting there.
No,
They're just not
I'm not worried.
They're on the computer, Greg, and then that way, when everything happens and they sign Herbert, they can just go in there and change the numbers,
edit,
and then print it out.
Yeah, because I even told the guy, like, Duke Tobin hardly ever talks about anything. He flat out said, I guarantee you, you saw the look on his face. You could tell it's all good. It's all good.
For my sake, since a lot of extensions don't come till closer to training camp, I'm hoping it's the latter, that the Kraken is released before the Burrow extension. Because am I waiting? Are we tossing me in that mix?
Hey, given
when the Burrow extension happens, Higgins is going to get signed, Wilson's going to get signed, Mixon's going to restructure, and Dell's going to finally bust the nut.
If that same question's aimed towards me,
same week.
I'm saying Burrow will get another contract before it happens for me.
He's getting he's getting his third contract.
Yeah, maybe fourth or fifth.
Oh, geez.
It's all right.
But, yeah, I mean, Mixon restructure, because I've just kind of been like, okay, at this point, what's the thing with giving his money? But that's also with the Collins thing.
Here's the deal with Mixon, man. We're all going to say, oh, he's going to get a restructure. He's going to get a restructure. And now we're all like, yeah, he's keeping his money. He's keeping his money. He's keeping his money. And then, he's going to get a restructure. He's going to get a restructure. And who the fuck knows in the end?
And what does a restructure mean with it? Like, because if it's a pay cut, it's a pay cut, right?
So what I saw in the restructure is like the running back market's kind of taking a dip, and the average is like, even for a good running back, is like $6 or $7 million.
Well, can we talk about running backs in general? They're all making a stand. You know, you look at what's his name, Saquon Barkley. He's making a stand. Now, this is ridiculous. J.K. Dobbins, no offense, he's a great running back. He has really no right, in my opinion, to hold out. Do you guys think so?
Well, he's holding in, right?
Oh, holding in. Okay.
I think is how they term that, because he's there.
Okay.
Whatever. He's not practicing or something.
I don't know. It's just whatever.
No, he's been hurt too much. Especially
he's been hurt.
I think he showed flashes, right? But
Saquon. Look, Saquon had that one great year, but I'm going to tell him, look, you were hurt like the last 3 other years. Saquon, though, was a big part. When he's healthy, he's the best running back in the league between him and Henry. But I'm sorry, man. I'd be hesitant myself to get him that big of a contract.
He's not going to, because the market for the running backs is taking a dip.
As unfair as that is, sorry.
I agree.
Either way, it's not my money. I think ultimately we can all agree he's going to be here. What his salary is, that's between the Bengals to figure out.
Mixon will be here. I expect Mixon to be here. Yes.
And let them figure out the contract there. That's where I'm like, there ain't no need to argue. What is there to argue about?
No, there's nothing that we can move on with that.
And
I know, I'm not saying we're arguing.
No,
I'm saying in general, I feel like it's like he's going to be here. Full salary.
Right.
I know, Greg. Full salary, not full salary.
Mm-hmm.
What's it? Let them figure out their money.
I don't give a shit. It ain't my money.
Except number 4 was
$95 a month is though.
Zeus finally got to meet Anthony Munoz. Was number 4 on this Dan Wood thing. If you haven't seen the interview that Dan did on the Bengals Booth podcast with Munoz and Zeus, I highly recommend it. But here's him meeting Lapham, and Anthony Munoz is no small guy, right?
No.
Look at Zeus.
Jesus.
Jeez, holy crap.
Hey, that's what I say. I was, I'm not a small guy either, man. I'm 6'3". I'm a big guy. I was showing people pictures when we went down to the banks and saw Volson, Karras, and Zeus, and I'm standing there and I look like I'm fucking 5'2".
No, poor Chuck. That was the one time you had to look up. One time,
I know.
When you first met Zeus.
That's the first person I have to look up like this when I'm talking to him, and I thought about how everybody else, when they talk at me, they're probably looking up like this, but
right, exactly, man.
That man is a giant.
Yeah,
he is.
Well, that picture, obviously you guys have met him and stuff in person, and I've seen pictures in comparison to, but that just like to me, Munoz, here's this Hall of Famer, big dude, like, and Lapham's no small guy either.
No,
right. And it's like, oh, well, there's Zeus, who just like towers over them. It's just fucking ridiculous.
But dude, as me and Chop keep saying that when you meet him, man, dude, you're gonna come away and say, what an awesome guy this is. Me and Port Chop literally just stared at each other, like just smile, like this. How awesome is this with Zeus?
I didn't think your mic was really loud, but Kenny said, lower your mic and lube that chair.
That chair does.
One of these days, we're going to lube that chair.
I don't think I need WD-40 at work. You can grab a can, squirt it.
I might get over it, but I'm just kidding, man. Get over it, Mike. I'm just kidding. I got to work on that, Mike.
What? Your chair?
Yeah, my chair. I got to do something. I'm surprised no more people complain about it. I'm sorry about that, Mike.
And then number 5 was just basically Sam Hubbard jokingly said, when am I going to make your 5 observations to Dan? So he tossed him in at 5.
There you go.
The pic of him at his football camp. Tossed him with one of the kids at his camp. But he said, we recently recorded a detailed look back at the fumble in the jungle. It'll be included on an upcoming episode of the podcast. So that's something to look forward to on Bengals Booth Podcast as well. They've got an episode coming out looking back at that entire play. So I know we were fortunate enough, you never watched our interview with Marcus Bailey, to get his perspective on it because he's in there blocking and, he's thinking like, oh, we're good.
Mark Andrews, didn't he?
Yeah, he been like, and not wanting to. But then he kind of threw the hands up, which kind of made him look guilty. But he's like, I got him from the side. So he gave his whole perspective on that. And like Akeem Davis Gaither was running along there instead of blocking Mark Andrews. He was trying to get the ball. He wanted that touchdown himself. So a lot of little fun and fun with that. So a look back. I've been putting out a lot of look back clips. I'm nowhere close to getting to that one because that was just.
I've been watching them too, man.
It's like crazy. Sometimes we're crazy. I'm like, man, we were crazy. I think we're still crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys are. I'm kind of tame.
Yeah. For
By
sure.
the way, guys, one more thing. I'm testing a new speaker. Is this better or is this lower? Or
I didn't really notice it, Greg. It's probably just when you get hard about Yoswash. I don't know.
Right.
I got hard, man. Yeah. Okay, just making sure.
I was wondering that too. If I'm kind of come off as loud because I'm always adjusting my mic, you just tell me.
Okay, no, you're fine.
I don't adjust shit. I just roll with it. I
Kevin
can't hear.
says no A1 on a baked potato, Greg.
Yeah, it's true. It's fucked up.
But I haven't had hardly any food takes this week.
Nope. I am going to get that turtle though. When we
Yeah,
go
I'm
down to the
looking forward to that.
game's coming up, we're going to go down there.
Porch Up, you're holding out on us, man. When are we going to the Eagle, buddy?
I work every fucking day, Greg. I'm trying.
Every day you're working.
Yes.
Except when he's got to do this show.
Literally, the next day I have Fridays off. All right. And
can you just
how late are they open? We can go after a show. Are they open?
No, just tell Dale you're sick or something Friday.
Yeah.
See what he's trying to do to me?
Hey, Dale,
no, that's right. We're all live on it. Never mind what I just said.
Here's me finally getting a reliable co-host for.
Dale, I'm sick. I can't sit in my bedroom tonight.
Yeah, I got an infected tongue. I can't come on work.
No, I am very thankful for you guys, and that's no knock on Derek and Joe. They have young kids and a lot going on there.
No.
Derek's work schedule, but it works out where you guys with your work schedules and stuff are able to do this 3:30 especially, and I'm so thankful because, and I think a lot of people in the chat are probably thankful for that too because I'm not going to come on here and sit and talk by myself at 3:30. It's like they just wouldn't be having these shows, if I didn't have people come on and talk and it be enjoyable.
Absolutely.
So I'm very thankful for you guys.
And I'm trying to roll back the fucks a little bit for Tom.
Yeah. Some people don't like to cut, which,
roll back the fucks.
A lot of it's just who we are, We try to do this podcast almost like that it would just be us at a tailgate kicking
just
it before the game.
with each other.
Yeah. So, but I do understand that that's not for everybody, and we will try not to cuss as much. But for me to say, like, we're not going to actually, toss in some cuss words here and there, I'd be lying to you guys because it's just not who we are.
I was rewatching one of the shows, though, the one that got commented on about me being crude. And I did let the fucks fly, but I thought, hey, fuck it. Might as well make a drinking game out of it. Get a fucking beer. Every time Pork Chop says the word fuck, take a drink. And by fucking 4:45, you'd be pretty fucked up.
See, that's what happens when you tell Chop not to do something. He's got that. That's like me. He's got that me in him.
I asked him, put a comment back, like, and I'm being serious. Like, is it the sentence enhancers or was there some kind of content? Is there something I actually said that was crude? I don't know what the fuck.
I know. That's always the thing, man. It's like, if you're going to leave the feedback about something, it's like, this was trash. I'm like, well, that doesn't help. It's not, what is that? Constructive criticism that I can work on.
Yep.
Well, then you put up the clips of the old shows and I'm watching and I'm like, well, I don't know.
You're like, this is complete. You're like, this is complete filth. You're like, what did I do?
Maybe people just don't like yellow tinted glasses. I
told you not to stress about it. I just always, if I see this stuff, I point it out, and because I'm the same way, man. And that's the thing. I care though. Like if I didn't care, I wouldn't go back and look at the comments and stuff. And I try to if there's a question in the comments after a show, I try to answer it. Like it's because I'm just trying to make. But yeah, it's.
What?
Read that for me.
Dale, nobody's got you in them. Shocked emoji for the podcast listeners. Too soon? LOL.
Yeah, because I said you've got that part of me in you. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no one does. You're right, Chris. I don't know. That made me laugh.
It's true, though. It's true. It's sad, but true. But I can't really feel all that much pity for you, Dale. I mean, I do empathize with you, buddy, but I know how your life's starting off right now.
Yeah, I got the Union
Hopefully
Blue
you get
Soldiers.
saved.
The Union Blue Soldier scarf back there on the
I see it.
Bengals mannequin with the
That's awesome.
The Bills hat, draped the scarf over it. Got a Bengals scarf there underneath. Just got a lot going on with that mannequin. It's going to fall at any time. I can tell it's leaning.
Oh, that's a mannequin. I see the mask.
Now,
Yeah,
Dale,
it's on a tripod.
now, Dale, you getting a personalized? Are you getting a head personalized headband or anything? Or
No, Greg.
you're too cool. I get it.
Yeah, I like this. This is one of those COVID masks
Oh yeah,
that I got when COVID was in, and I use it as a headband sometimes.
It works. It looks great.
it works. How about that? I might have to try that sometime.
But mostly it's just when I cut sleeves out of shirts and then I wear those.
Right.
So I ain't got to pay
Right.
for it, right?
By the way, shout out to Bengals and Bourbon. Does an amazing job with this stuff. I mean, a couple of us got headbands. You did DM him on Twitter. Really does a hell of a job. So go check it out.
I got the Shiesty one.
He's not sponsoring this show, Greg. Stop giving him shout outs.
Hey, we should ask him if he wants to sponsor the show.
Yeah.
He's our bud, though.
He's getting a phone call, Chop.
That's fucking probably someone for who is it that's calling for you? Who they asked for?
It was Don, but now a lot of them are asking for me.
Oh, well, they might have started calling me.
Yeah, I've told a good 20 of them to take me off their call list.
Well, apparently they did, so that's good. They usually don't listen.
Well, that's not as bad. They're still rolling in. It's not as many.
Yeah.
I get a lot of calls, people, and texts too. People want to buy my house.
Yeah,
I got Bill want me to sell my house too.
But it said this is Derek, interested in your house at 28 something Cedar something. I'm like,
Orange Arrow, he's not interested.
I'm like, that is not my house.
You should just been like, well, drive up to the door and talk to me about it then.
Yeah. I was like, I have no clue where.
Come on over here. I'm
whose
cooking
address
eggs.
that is.
I'm making eggs, man. Come on over here. Let's have it talk it out over breakfast. Just come on in. Don't knock.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I can't answer the door. Just come on in.
Yeah. Got someone shot and killed.
Right. Yeah.
Murder at 28 something Cedar Lane.
You're right.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, here. Crip's coming through with some advice for us. We need to get out to Marvin Gaye. Send a child to pick up pizza. Put on a late great Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on a loop. Let's make the magic happen. You to Night Train. It doesn't fucking matter.
Trust me, Crip. If there is anything, it is what it is.
It doesn't matter. I appreciate the advice, but
Yeah.
it's over.
It's over.
I mean, I'm not completely giving up, but my gosh,
Yeah.
I ain't completely given up.
I got to bust through that door sometime.
Yeah.
Right. You will. I got faith in it.
I'm going to be playing that Lonely Island song. I just had sex.
Yeah. First walk up to the house and play that other Lonely Island song.
Oh, speaking
Step
of,
one. Put your
Marissa's
dick in the
calling.
box.
Uh-oh.
Hey, if it's for Dawn, that's not good if it's for Dawn.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to do the other Lonely Island song to start the thing off. Put your dick in a box.
Yeah. So pork chop, man. I mean, so let's see here. I know we're talking Bengals, but can we just give a shout out to our other teams? For those of you who don't know, I have a Reds side right here and all that.
That's right.
And you know what? The Reds, one game out of first place. Let's keep our Cincinnati team going, man. Let's keep the train going. I mean, like, pork chop, just in general, man. How awesome is this, man? Could you ask for a better time right now?
Please, come on.
Obviously the Bengals, but the Reds, man, who have a great up-and-coming team with all these young players. And even though I could care less about soccer, FC Cincinnati in first place. Talk about a hell of a time to be a Cincinnati sports fan right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's on the wall in front of you? Because it's about to be FC. Oh, even more. Oh, shit. Look at that.
Great American Ballpark.
Where are you going to put all your FC stuff? Because I'm telling you, I got a feeling when we go down there, we're going to love it.
No, we are. No, pork chop. If I do it, like so I was talking to Santori, rally around the 90s, heading to the Cincinnati Sports Show, I may have to get like a little FC banner along with my T-shirt and my three-way city hat and try to make up like a last second. I'm like, Santori, we may have to talk some soccer on our show, man.
I know.
Even though I have no idea what the hell. That's where you know who we need to get involved.
But you'll go to a game, Greg.
What?
You go to a game and you learn about it. And
Yes.
Well, because we're going to have our buddy from Boston with us to help us out.
That's right. It looks like so much fun being at a soccer game. Those fans, they
my God,
into it. And there's a spot in the stadium called the Bailey where they get really rowdy. And there's no seats, or we would have went to the Bailey. But I like to sit the fuck down a lot, so we're sitting real close to the Bailey.
Well, Pork Chop, man, what if I got tickets for the Lionel Messi game? Like, what if I won tickets when Lionel Messi came here? I mean, look, I don't like soccer, but Lionel Messi, you could argue, is the most popular athlete on the entire earth just because of soccer.
Is that the guy they got at Miami?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I don't
Argentina.
Even know soccer.
Yeah, Argentina. I mean, he's
they just won the World Cup.
Right.
He's been in Barcelona for years. He
got paid. I swear to God, I was listening to the radio the other day, and they were talking about how he got paid $200 million this year.
Well, no, Dale,
like MLS.
Right. So Dale, like, while you're off, I'm sorry. We were talking about other Cincinnati sports, but I mean, Dale, you can agree. You have to show love for Cincinnati sports in general right now. I mean,
yeah, it's fun.
I mean, it's fun, man. I mean, the Bengals, we're just waiting patiently, but it's good that the Reds are keeping us entertained while we're waiting for the Bengals. I mean, this is just such a fun time for Cincinnati sports right now.
Well, it's a fun young team.
Yes.
Yes.
It reminds me of the Bengals. I'm not saying they're going to the World Series, but it reminds me of the Bengals 2 years ago, man. I mean.
Well, this series in Houston is definitely a big measuring stick for the Reds.
Yes.
If I hope they at least win one minimum. But, man, if they could take 2 out of 3 and win the series, that'd be amazing.
Well, Cincy James, remember we were talking to him. He says even though Houston's a good, really good team, I think 3 of their players are not playing. I think they're injured and all that. So we got a legit shot here and all that. So, let's keep this rolling. I mean, like, I said a little fired up there in the group chat a couple days ago, and Tori's like, Greg, the Royals are a crap team. I'm like, dude, we got to keep it going. Let's keep this going, man. Let's keep the train going.
Well, I kept saying, sorry, go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, I heard today on my way home, listening to the radio, that if we have a chance tonight to tie for first.
Yes.
Yeah, we're 1 game back now.
1 game.
I was just going to say, I had said like a week or 2 ago, I'm like, just keep stacking these series wins,
Yes.
Keep winning series 2 out of 3. I mean, you're going to be exactly where you want to be at the end of the day. So keep stacking series wins. But, yeah, when you play like a Royals – and you can get a sweep, boom, that's what got us right back there being the 1 game back.
And this team is having fun. They said someone else said that I was listening to on the radio that they haven't seen the smiles like that in the dugout for years.
No, you look at when that one player got interviewed when he said, like, holy shit, you saw all the teammates. Yes. Everybody usually goes in the locker room, but they're all sitting there waiting. That just shows you how much fun this team is having. And, hey, Joey Votto is hitting the crap out of the ball in a AAA, and Nick Senzel, who's been hurt, is back. Jose Barrera, by the way, just got option AAA, which I think we all knew he was going to be the guy.
Hey, that was on Cincy James' poll the other day, and that's who everybody voted.
I mean, dude, we have another guy coming. We have like 2 other guys.
Did they bring up the Encarnacion Strand?
I don't think so yet. No.
Well, he was playing right field, I think, yesterday. And it's like, here's a guy they're moving around from infield to right field because they're going to find spots for these guys, these young, talented sons of bitches that are so good. That guy's hitting like ridiculous, kind of like what McLean was in AAA. And McLean has almost sustained it here. I think it said he's batting like 380 in AAA, and then he's still batting here almost 350.
Dale, do I dare say we do an episode called Red Legs and Brews?
I don't know, man.
All right, I'm kidding.
We don't. No, because it's fun, but it's like at the end of the day, we're Bengals and Brews.
Speaking
we can always spend 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Who's that closing pitcher? Is his name Kutcher?
No, not Ashton Kutcher. Diaz.
Well, I was going to say some respect on Ricky Karcher. Was the guy who had to close the other. The wild thing, Ricky Karcher, which he got sent back down already. The guy that closed that game out the other day.
What a story, though,
the
man.
The main closer's like Diaz, right? And he's
right. Dude, he's like lights
20,
out.
Yeah, 20 for 20, 21 for 20 saves or something.
They bring that Ricky, what'd you say, Karcher?
Karcher.
They bring Ricky Karcher back. Please, God, Ricky Karcher, I know that you're in the thing here or you're listening to the podcast. Mm-hmm. Please cut your hair like Ricky Vaughn.
Dude, also in Chapman, who's on the Royals, their crap team, once retires a Red. I know our bullpens are doing great, but Pete Rose had a saying: if you have pitching, get more pitching. Keep adding on, man. I mean, like I
said, I never seen a bet I didn't like to place.
Yes, that's true. He also said, "Is that a booger in my drink?" That's an inside joke about. Yep. I've mentioned it on here before, where I worked with a guy in radio that said Pete Rose was a dick to him, so when he served him a water, he put a booger in it.
And speaking of Reds, I'm rallying around the Natty. It was already announced yesterday. I mean, I was so excited for this. Monday, we got Jeff Carr, Locked on Reds, coming on, who has great analysis from a great show. And
this ain't free promo time. Right. I didn't say you could do promos on my show, Greg.
Sorry about that, man.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No.
I hadn't kicked anyone off in a while. I had to do it. Like, I'm watching these old clips. I always was kicking people off.
But Monday, June 26th, I'll be honest with all of you. I was shocked about this. I just said, I'll just message him and let it go. And all of a sudden, I wake up one morning going to work, and I'm surprised I didn't crap my pants in the car. I mean, Monday, June 26th, we're having the Hall of Fame writer, Hal McCoy, the Dayton Daily News, coming on the show.
Damn, Greg, that's how you break the news to me? You're not going to micro wrestling?
Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Well, buddy, come on, man. It's either micro wrestling or interviewing a Hall of Fame writer here.
I've talked about micro wrestling for months. See?
Months.
Hey, Chop, now you get what I got when the draft came around.
I got stood up, man.
No, I never said yes to micro wrestling.
I'm going to be sitting at micro wrestling. There's going to be a fucking empty seat right next to me, and I'll be crying.
Does anybody want to go to micro wrestling?
Who's gonna record me when I stand up and yell, "Twist his dick! Twist his dick!"
When are you going, Chop? It's the 26th.
26th. It's in Blanchester.
Where's
so that's
that?
Like a 55-minute drive for me, man. But
what's Blanchester close to?
It's 2 hours from you, Dale.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying
it's the east side. It's the east side. It's close to Derrick.
There you go.
It's not too far from.
Why don't you go, Dale?
Hey, if you want to go, man, I'll buy your ticket.
Yeah, go
down there in Blanchester. It's only a 2-hour drive. It's from 8 to 10. Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
That's it, man. You're not doing shit, Dale. It's a Monday night, 8 p.m. Micro wrestling.
Did you say the June 26th?
June 26th.
It's like 10 days from now.
It's like next week or week after or some shit like that. It's like 2 Mondays from now.
It's not this coming Monday. It's
not this coming Monday, which is like, what the fuck's today? Oh, today's Friday. So yeah, not in like 3 or 4 days. It's like the following one. You're thinking about it, aren't you?
He's thinking. No, this is a good sound right here, poor chap.
It's not much. If you want to bring the kids, it's only $25 for a general admission seat.
Yeah.
They still got tickets on their site. Like, just look up micro wrestling. Look at the
one. Poor chap. To tell you the truth, I didn't even know it was on the 26th, man. I'm just doing by available dates here, buddy. I'm sorry.
What's that? Blanchester High School, movie theater, public library, municipal building, police department.
Let's see. I have to look it up. I got tickets. They're in my wallet, and it'll probably say where it's at.
I don't know. If I just put Blanchester High, let's see. Hour and 25 minutes.
There you go.
It's 2 hours.
Told you it's
not 2 full hours.
It's not 2 hours, Dale, so you get to go. So there's no backing out now, bro.
It's in Blanchester at the Broadway Bar and Grill. A bar. They got Miller Lite. And your thing was you'd always like drive to Derrick's, and then he would drive the rest of the way. So this is basically like driving to Derrick's. What are you doing? Buying the tickets right now, right?
Yes.
One of my daughters might go too because she's all excited because she one of the micro wrestlers follows her on TikTok, and so she's like trying to swap out days so somebody will work her shift, and that way she can go.
I'm telling you, sometimes those micro wrestlers are badass.
Man, how much fun is that shit gonna be though? That's gonna be a blast. My buddy John's coming. He lives right there close to Derrick too. John lives out in Batavia, and so far that's it. But we're gonna go and we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be a blast.
I'll do this, Jolly, but I don't have any rings on.
Yeah, well, I got one. I got one.
To be fair. That was a pretty good response from Pat Mahomes. He's like, this is who.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good response.
It's all right, man. We're coming up.
Now, if we just had Cincy James to do the Kermit the Frog,
oh hell yeah,
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Chop, you don't do impersonations?
I can do it. Hi, everybody. I can't do it.
Yeah, that sounded like Kermit the Frog.
Greg said I could do it, and then I don't know what the fuck that was.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kermit the Frog.
Hey there, I'm Kermit the Frog.
There you go.
Oh, it did kind of sound like him.
No, dude, that was good, Pork Chop.
I think
My name is Pat Mahomes. I don't know who you are, but I have 2 rings, and my friend Travis Kelce has also 2 rings.
it's not bad. It's not bad.
Also, I'm gonna go and fuck Miss Piggy.
Yeah, that's if I go, Chris, that's the plan.
Dude, Pork Chop, you got to drink some Four Locos that do Kermit the Frog.
Hey, I went
Chop versus like 4 of the micro wrestlers.
Yeah,
right. If they got 4 Locos up there, man, my daughter's gonna have to drive. He's gonna have to go so somebody can drive me home at Big Fancy.
Yeah.
I went to UDF today and I got a 6-pack of Miller High Life and the Tall Boys because that's how we do. And I walked past that 4 Locos case and I looked in there and I swear to God, it whistled at me when I walked by. I was trying to walk by the case and I heard, I was like, what the fuck? So I turned around, I was like, what the hell? I looked at the 4 Locos and it wasn't the gold one that fucked me up. It was a fruit punch. I looked at it and I was like, yeah, well, hey. And it was like, I said, oh man, let me go in here to this beer cave. I got to get my 6-pack and get the fuck out of here. That 4 Locos was calling me.
Right.
That's what I said when I got all fucked up. I never said I'm done with 4 Locos. I said I want to say I'm done, but I might just be done with that 4 Loco Gold.
Well, and I told you, there's no shame in like being like, I'm drinking no more than a half can.
You're right.
And putting a bunch of ice in it so the ice melts and it waters it down.
I just got to have 2. I got to have 2 Loco.
Right, 2 Loco.
Yes.
Pork Chop. It's me. It's your buddy, 4 Loco.
Daddy, you know you want to.
You know how good I taste.
Daddy, I want it now.
Yeah, Daddy. Pork Chop, I want it now.
You know you want me in your mouth, Chop. Get over here and purchase me.
Well, let me just say, I am Pat Mahomes, and I will drink the shit out of 4 Locos with my 2 rings on. My special ring where the top pops off, and I will probably lose it on the subway. But that's okay. Because I have 4 Locos. And my friend Travis Kelce. Excuse me.
I think we're starting to mix in British accents now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're like a British Kermit the Frog now, man.
Things in there on that one.
Crikey, mate. Crikey. It's about time we go for a Foster's.
Oh, my God.
Well, I better go do my favorite weekend activities and cut some grass.
I'm going to do my favorite everyday activity, and I don't want to say it on here. I feel like
we
if
have
I
a good
say it, we're going to top over to crude level, and I don't want.
We have a good idea of what that probably is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to do that this morning, and then I was like, man, whatever.
And I
was like, maybe tonight's the night.
Yeah, could be.
Probably won't be.
I'll see Kermit.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a fun episode. We will be back at 7:00 with TikTok Tyler.